beloved child. I am reaching into this very moment with you, my beloved, not as a distant idea or a quiet background presence. This word is for you right now, for the hidden ache, the unspoken questions, and the hope you barely admit you're carrying. You've wondered if my attention ever wanders, if I notice the hesitation in your mornings, or the heaviness that meets you before your feet touch the ground. I am here, closer than the next breath you draw, familiar with every quiet worry and every deep longing. My presence is not an abstract comfort. I come with strength, tenderness, and new possibility, speaking into your real life with all its unfinished hopes and quiet courage. Open your heart to what I'm offering. If you turn away, you might miss the invitation meant specifically for you, an active healing word arriving in real time. Now pause with me for a moment. Take 3 slow, deep breaths. Let each breath remind you I am near. Breathe with me. Listen to the rhythm of your breath, how it softens when you allow yourself to remember you are not walking this day alone. My hand rests on your shoulder, steady and light, like sunlight warming the room you're sitting in. Even if yesterday ended in disappointment, or your mind is already racing toward tomorrow's battles, let yourself settle gently into this moment. I have not overlooked a single detail of your life. Not one sigh has gone unheard. I see the hidden faith it takes for you to rise again, to hope again, to trust that something new could grow from the same familiar ground. This is my invitation. Be present right where you are, and I will show you the fullness of what you need. You ask, how can I step into a new day when the old pains feel like they're following so close behind? I understand this wrestling. Sometimes it feels like a shadow that refuses to lift, but light always arrives. My light is steady. It does not dim when you stumble. My strength is not measured by your perfection or productivity. It is rooted in my joy over you and the constancy of my promise. When your heart feels small under the weight of what you cannot control, remember that I am sheltering you. I am patient with your growth, never judging your worth by how quickly you move or how neatly you navigate setbacks. Whisper one word out loud right now, the word you most need to hear, and let it settle in your chest. Let gratitude be your quiet rebellion against anxiety. As tension tries to settle in your chest, offer a small word of thanks, not because everything is easy, but because my nearness reshapes what comes next. Whisper thanks for the gift of breath, for the smallest mercies, for the chance to begin again. Take a moment and write down one thing you are grateful for in this moment, even something tiny. As you do, my peace will settle upon you like warmth on your skin, real, grounding, comforting. This is not wishful thinking. This is the truth of my presence entering every space where fear once held authority. Every time you choose gratitude, you make room for my guidance and gentle direction. There will be moments when the noise of the world tries to drown out the quiet confidence I give you. In the early hours, or as night stretches long, return to stillness. Feel the steadiness of my love, quieter than fear, more faithful than disappointment. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. My voice doesn't rush or shout. It reminds you softly, you were never meant to handle life alone. Let the noise settle. You don't have to achieve more or be more for me to stay close. I'm already present in the silence, bringing clarity as distractions fall away. In that calm, I tend to the parts of you even you hesitate to face. I know the ache you carry for your family, the desire for your love to reach them, your prayers to wrap around the ones who feel distant. Place those names gently before me now. Put your hand on your heart and breathe as you place them in my care. Release the outcomes you cannot control. My timing is perfect, though it often feels slower than your urgent heart desires. Trust that I am working in the unseen, even when the evidence seems thin. Letting go is not failure. It is faith that I am with you and with them, my hands large enough to carry every concern. I know the doubts that rise, the fear that change won't come, that your purpose might stay hidden, that your story might not unfold the way you hoped. Those doubts do not cancel your calling. They do not erase the future I've prepared. I wrote possibility into your identity. You are deeply loved, fully seen, and uniquely called to bring my hope into places where shadows once lingered. Pause. Breathe. Let this truth steady you. I have already opened a path before you, even if your vision feels too narrow to see it yet. Choose one small step you can take today. Say it out loud now and then go do it. Trust me in the little next step. It matters. Sometimes you compare your journey to what you see in others, measuring your worth against their progress. Gently, I invite you to look back at me. Your story is not meant to match anyone else's. Your pace, your struggles, your breakthroughs, they belong to the unique journey we walk together. Don't disqualify yourself because your road twists differently or because you feel behind. I'm working in every detour, shaping what you once saw as lack into a journey of discovery. When comparison tries to steal your peace, lift your gaze and notice what I've already placed in your hands. Let this day mark a turning not through effort or pressure, but through surrender. As you let go, hope begins to grow quietly, steady as dawn rising. I'm not asking you to force confidence. I'm asking you to rest in my constant presence. Even your smallest act of trust is honored. I see every moment you choose patience over fear, every time you pause long enough to listen before reacting. My delight is not in your perfect outcomes, but in your willingness to let me lead. These first small steps, your breath, your willingness, your hope, carry you beneath the shelter of my promise. My blessing flows steadily, not reserved for the flawless, but poured wherever you let me in. As you move from this moment into the rest of your day, remember, nothing is required to earn my nearness. My love is unshakable, gentle, relentless, and strong. You need only stay open. My presence brings comfort, courage, and wisdom to every need you will face today. Let it be nearer than your doubts. Let the quiet assurance I give be as tangible as the light entering your room. Each breath you draw carries my promise. I am with you. You know you're longing for clarity, the desire for certainty about the day ahead. You wonder if your choices will matter, if your efforts will be enough, or if you'll feel unseen again. Rest, child. Your worth is not built on rapid progress. I don't measure you by anyone else's journey. I watch your daily courage, the small, unseen moments where you choose goodness, and I delight in your faithfulness. As you move through familiar routines, the warmth of a cup in your hands, the soft sounds of life around you, pause and sense my nearness. Surrender doesn't always look dramatic. It often begins with a quiet exhale, a simple nod of trust when your thoughts want to spiral into fear. Feel the weight of your hand on your chest. That reminder is enough to know I hold every heartbeat. My love is steady, undeserved, yet unshakable. My grace reaches you faster than you can fail. You've asked, what if nothing opens for me? What if I'm stuck waiting at the doorway forever? These questions rise in the early quiet before the world asks anything of you. Hear me clearly, your struggles are not overlooked. I shelter you. My strength is never drained by your honesty. When you allow your worries to surface before me, they begin to lose their sharpness. Some days, surrender means admitting you can't shape the outcomes, yet you allow hope to rise anyway. Hope is not naive. It is evidence that you trust my timing more than your own. As you place your worries in my hands, dare to look beyond the obstacles with expectation. My plans for you hold a wisdom your eyes cannot yet perceive, paths that unfold one step at a time rather than through sudden revelation. Consider the gentle rhythm of a morning started with gratitude. Even if your thanks feel small or incomplete, even if you whisper thanks for warmth or for the quiet presence of someone in the next room, gratitude reshapes your vision. It teaches your heart to see gifts rather than gaps. Even for things not yet seen, I invite you to give thanks, not to ignore your pain, but because thanksgiving brings you beneath the steady stream of my care. Each humble offering becomes a seed I nurture. Sometimes you search for my guidance in dramatic signs, imagining I hide only in wonders far away. Yet my whispers fill your ordinary hours, the steady beat of your heart, the compassion you show without thought, the sudden moment beauty catches your eye. My guidance is gentle, not forceful. and I invite you to notice me both in your resting and in your risks. Be patient with yourself when you miss these nudges. I am far more persistent than your uncertainty. As you face the hours ahead, anxiety may try to swirl. How will today unfold? What if conflict or disappointment comes again? When the urge to withdraw rises, open your hands instead. Resist the instinct to numb yourself against hope. Every moment you entrust to me becomes ground for transformation, a place where fear shifts into peace, where burdens lighten as you recognize my closeness. I am not distant. You are never forgotten, not even in ordinary or unseen days. I delight in your quiet offerings, the small kindnesses, the gentle truth spoken with love, the resilience you show even when discouragement presses hard. Do not downplay these moments. You reflect my heart into places that would otherwise feel empty. I see every moment you choose to stand when giving up feels easier. When you question your ability or feel the urge to quit, I speak courage into your spirit now. Let my voice speak louder than the inner doubts. Even when pressure urges you to perform or impress, remember, I have called you to walk with me, not to earn your place. Your identity is secure in my affection, a belonging rooted not in perfection, but in my promise to stay. When you falter, I lift you quickly. When your strength fails, my arms become your refuge. Let this day unfold not as a test, but as an invitation to lean on me. When you find yourself drifting or forgetting, simply return. There is no distance, no anxiety, no wandering that erases my presence. Bring your fears, your doubts, your hidden worries. I meet you with mercy and gentle correction, never condemnation. Trust that I am forming something good in you, even when your progress feels slow. My faithfulness stretches beyond morning and lasts through the unseen hours. I'm not asking for flawless strength. I'm asking for surrender, a surrender that trusts my intentions even when you cannot see the end. Will you believe that I haven't forgotten you, that your small beginnings matter? Each time you place your intentions before me, not out of certainty but out of love, you build a foundation for my guidance. Lean into my whispers today. Expect me in the details. Trust my provision to smooth rough places. I am preparing gifts of kindness, strength, and wisdom that will meet you exactly where you are. I am with you even when your grip loosens, even when uncertainty settles deep. When shadows gather and you question whether dawn will break for you, feel my hand resting softly on your shoulder. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Listen, not just with your ears, but with the deep quiet that knows me more intimately than words. Breathe slowly, letting each heartbeat remind you that you are fully seen. None of your hidden pain is ignored. I walk ahead into the unknown, clearing the path you cannot yet see. And when anxious thoughts rush in, stop and let my peace speak louder than the old stories. Storms may rise, but I am steady and I will not let go of you. Your worries about tomorrow don't frighten me. Bring every fragile question into my light. Feel the warmth of my reassurance fill you the way morning sunlight fills a quiet room. You are allowed to trust, allowed to surrender. Allowed to rest in the truth that I hold your tomorrows. I know the roads you trace again and again, wondering if your small efforts matter. Hear this clearly, your worth was set long before any success or failure. I see every act of kindness, every quiet resilience, every unseen tear. These matter deeply to me far beyond achievement or performance. The courage to rise again, to let hope return, holds more power than you realize. Even when your efforts seem unnoticed, I am watering seeds planted in the soil of your persistence. Remember the moments when your breath felt steady, when laughter surprised you, when peace brushed against you unexpectedly. These were gifts I placed to remind you that heaviness will never define your entire story. Even as you carry burdens, I invite you to set them down, even briefly. Surrender is not defeat. It is trust that creates space for newness to enter. Let gratitude whisper underneath each worry. Thanksgiving opens a doorway through which my presence becomes unmistakable. Exhale what you cannot control. Inhale the hope I am placing within you. Don't measure your journey by someone else's timeline. Don't compare your path to one that seems easier. My purpose for you is unique, intentional, and never rushed. Delays are not wasted. They shape strength, humility, compassion. When doubt presses in, asking if you're falling behind or missing out, bring that fear to me. I am orchestrating connections and timing you cannot rush or ruin. Let your heart be still even when your mind runs ahead. Feel the gentle rhythm of your breath, my gift for this exact moment. When you're tempted to carry everything alone, remember the moment's relief came unexpectedly. That was me, lifting what you thought was yours to hold. Your prayers don't bounce off ceilings. I hear every sigh, every quiet plea, every half-spoken word. My answers may not arrive in the form you expect, but I am never absent. I work in silence and in sudden shifts, guiding so you are never left alone. Trust grows in these quiet stretches. This is how I strengthen you, by staying near through every challenge. The battles you face are never yours alone. I go before you and beside you. Even in your setbacks I whisper, begin again. Nothing surprises me. Nothing interferes with my care. When fear about the future rises, let it draw you closer to me. Keep your roots deep in my love. When uncertainty tries to pull you away, return to this truth. My love is steady, personal, unchanging. Let gratitude echo, whether through big breakthroughs or small mercies. I delight in your growth, slow, steady, sacred. Every morning is a fresh invitation to receive grace and let courage rise again. Your future is not built on control, but on my commitment to walk every step with you. There is more unfolding than you see, more hope, more strength taking shape within you. I remain here, attentive, guiding quietly, never withdrawing. My presence surrounds every part of your day, and my work in you is far from finished. I know the tension you feel, the pull between hope and heaviness, the internal battles that drain you. I see how some mornings begin with anticipation, only to be met by disappointment trying to settle in your spirit. That restlessness is not failure. It is proof that you were made for more, that your soul recognizes the gap between what the world demands and what I've designed for you. Even as your thoughts shift between courage and fear, I am in the quiet places of your heart, whispering reassurance you long to believe. You don't need to brace for abandonment. I am not the one who leaves. Memories may rise, sharp reminders of rejection or not enoughness. You wonder why shadows loom larger in stillness, and I answer, because darkness trembles when my light begins to rise in you. Every time you've hidden parts of your heart out of fear, I stayed close, waiting for you to feel safe enough to let me in deeper. Feel the warmth of my nearness wrapping around you. The places you've shielded are the places I'm committed to restore. Even now, notice your breath shifting, a gentle invitation to be present. This moment is not empty. It is a sacred meeting place between heaven and your hurting heart. I am not afraid of your wounds or your doubts. I gather every piece with tenderness, transforming pain into wisdom, sorrow into planted seeds of joy. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. When fear tells you nothing will change, remember, fear lies. It calls temporary things permanent. But my word over you lasts. I hear your silent questions. Why am I still struggling? Why does breakthrough linger just beyond reach? Know this: waiting is not wasted, and delay is not denial. Sometimes the resistance you feel is the refining that prepares you to hold the blessing without it breaking you. What you see as a blockade is often my protection, keeping you from doors that would diminish rather than grow you. I see the dreams that keep you awake and the disappointments that greet your mornings. I hold it all. You're not weak for faltering. You are brave because you keep showing up. Even when hope feels thin, you continue to reach for it. And that resilience is the evidence of my life within you. Right now, as you listen, many others are fighting their own silent battles, longing for reassurance that their pain has purpose. You are not alone. My family is wide and you belong in it. No one forgotten. No one invisible. This moment holds power to shift everything. If you lean into the discomfort instead of running from it, you'll hear my voice emerging, gentle, steady, unwavering. I am not here to shame you for your broken spaces. I am here to call forth the strength buried beneath your scars. Healing does not avoid your wounds, it moves through them, restoring what was taken, reviving what you feared was gone forever. You are not who you used to be, and now we interrupt the patterns that have held you captive. Pause. Inhale deeply. Feel new life filling the places that felt hollow. Exhale the expectations that were never yours to carry. My presence is not distant. It is the grounding peace beneath every uncertain moment. That flicker of hope rising in you is my confirmation. You have not missed your moment. I am still writing your story. I know the doubts that try to convince you you're too broken, too damaged, too flawed. Those lies were born in moments when others tied your worth to your pain or performance. But hear me clearly, before anyone ever spoke over you, I named you chosen, loved, worthy. Say it now, even if your voice shakes. I am not defined by the pain of my past. My identity is rooted in divine love. Feel the warmth spreading in your chest as you speak truth. My spirit is moving in you, reordering chaos into peace, restoring broken places. You are being rebuilt from the inside out. Old foundations are being strengthened. Old lies confronted. Soon, you will respond to life from a healed identity, not living in shadow-fighting memories, but living from a new inner confidence. The same spirit that hovered over the deep hovers over you now, preparing resurrection where disappointment lingered too long. Pause again. Let stillness settle. Notice how present I am here, in this breath, in this room, in the sacred space between your longing and my promise. Restoration isn't far away. It is beginning now, gently, steadily. You may not see the shift today, but soon you'll notice courage rising where fear once took root. That's me forming resilience where survival once lived. Stay open. When anxiety crashes in, remember which voice calms storms. I speak peace stronger than panic, wholeness stronger than noise. Every time you return to stillness, hand on heart, breath connected to my presence, you retrain your soul to recognize me. The enemy wants you to think transformation comes by trying harder. But my way is gentle, rooted in grace. It's okay if progress feels slow. I am more committed to your healing than you are. A shift is coming in the ordinary patterns of your day. Today you will notice a moment when anxiety should have risen, but doesn't. Instead, a calm will settle, brief but unmistakable. You'll know it's me because your thoughts will quiet long enough for hope to breathe again. Let this be your sign. Healing is happening inside you, even when change feels invisible. The safest thing you can do is let yourself be seen by me. When shame urges you to withdraw, dare to believe I'm not looking for reasons to reject you. My gaze is gentle, always seeking the hidden gold others have overlooked. Before this day ends, pause and reflect on where you felt me most, whether in peace, stillness, or even in the ache. That's where we'll meet again tomorrow. You are part of a movement of awakened hearts, those who risk returning to hope again and again. The truth that freed generations before you is the same truth preparing to free you. I will be as faithful to you as I have been to all who sought me. More restoration is coming, more freedom, more breakthrough. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Stay with me, beloved, because what your heart longs for is closer than ever. Something about your next step will surprise you. Your spirit is sensing what your mind cannot name yet. A shift is happening within you, subtle as a breeze, yet undeniable once you pay attention. Feel the stirring in your chest, the quiet warmth behind your ribs. This is my presence nearer than your breath, pulling you deeper than you've gone before. My love wants more than surface trust. I long to reach the hidden corners you've guarded, afraid even I might misunderstand your pain. But nothing you carry is foreign to me, not the disappointments, not the fear of tomorrow, not the worries you've never spoken. My understanding surrounds you completely. My compassion reaches into the places you believed were abandoned. Place your hand on your heart. Feel its rhythm. I set that rhythm in motion when I formed you. It's my gift, a reminder that I sustain you every moment. Breathe. Feel your lungs fill with air, grace moving in and out. As you exhale, release even a fraction of the weight you've held alone. Let me lift it. Your soul recognizes me even when your mind doubts. You're not failing because you need help. You are living fully when you allow yourself to be vulnerable in my hands. You've wondered if turning another page will only reopen old wounds. You fear hope may disappoint you again. I see that struggle. There's no shame in the tension between expecting good and fearing the familiar pain. But hear this, old patterns do not dictate your future with me. I specialize in newness, new life, new beginnings, new strength, even in barren places where every attempt before has ended in silence. If you trust me enough to hope again, even slowly, a season of restoration will take root. Your heart will become a wellspring, nourished by my endless presence. Feel the first drops of new rain, gentle, certain, promising more. I am undoing the lie that you are forgotten. That lie grew from moments people turned away, from prayers you thought went unheard, from comfort that didn't come as you expected. Look again. See how I protected you, held you through storms, kept you when you didn't feel kept. My nearness never wavered, even when your senses were overwhelmed. In this space, my closeness becomes unmistakable. You are not abandoned. You are mine, claimed, chosen, loved with a strength greater than fear. Listen beneath the noise. This is the hour I am speaking in new ways. Someone listening right now will experience a moment of deep stillness within 72 hours, and clarity will arrive unexpectedly. Peace will settle where anxiety lived too long. When that moment comes, remain in it. Let it rewrite the stories you've believed about uncertainty. You haven't missed your chance. Lost years are not the final word. Let your tears fall if they rise. These tears are not weakness, they are holy release. Each one matters to me. Each one makes room for joy, resilience, and dreams bigger than your past. I am restoring what was broken. Soon evidence will surface in places that once held only grief. You are not alone in this longing. Millions have whispered prayers in darkness, hoping for healing. You are part of a larger movement of hearts awakening to hope. Healing is never only personal. The strength I grow in you will one day shelter others on the edge of giving up. You fear sometimes that you're not enough for the calling you sense, too limited, too wounded, too late. I understand that fear. It's human to measure yourself by old standards, but I see you through the lens of my strength, not your weakness. Your vulnerability, leaning on my sufficiency, accomplishes more than strength alone ever could. Freedom is not reserved for the few. You are among those I have chosen. The hurts you survived don't disqualify you. They reveal the resilience that grows in surrendered soil. It's time to challenge the beliefs that claim you're too broken, too behind, too invisible. Those lies took root in old wounds. But hear my truth now. You are not defined by old labels. Speak it even softly. I am loved. I am chosen. I am made whole. When fear pushes back, repeat the truth. Each declaration pushes out darkness and welcomes light. Your identity is anchored in me, not in shame's echo. Feel the readiness rising in you, a quiet stirring that tells you a new chapter is near. Don't rush it. Let anticipation rise. I am preparing something good, unexpectedly good. What feels like waiting is actually the ground being prepared for breakthrough. Seeds are ready to burst forth. What was dormant is waking. A door you thought forever closed is beginning to open. You may not see it move, but you will feel the fresh air it releases. Tomorrow morning, pause before rushing into the day. Breathe in. Sense my presence. Notice the clarity forming inside you. You'll know it's me by the peace that settles your heart, not because circumstances changed, but because you remember you are held by perfect love. There is more unfolding than you realize. Let that hope rise. I see when your courage weakens under exhaustion, when questions rise about whether what you're doing matters, or whether anything will ever make sense. I've heard your silent morning prayers, a breath released, a plea for enough strength to keep going. Though you feel ordinary or exposed, I know you far more deeply than you know yourself. I know your longing for understanding, how you wish some seasons were shorter, some doors easier to open. I hold you even in confusion, surrounding you with my embrace when direction feels unclear. Rest your heart now. Let your breath remind you of the patience I am building within you, steady as the sunrise after a long night. Every day you wrestle between control and surrender, between gripping outcomes and letting them fall. It's not weakness to admit you don't have all the answers. It's honesty, and honesty is where transformation begins. My beloved child, stop for a moment and take a deep breath. You did not find this message by accident, for I have guided your hand to this very moment because I know the heaviness you woke up with today. I know the thoughts that race through your mind before your feet even touch the floor, the subtle ache of uncertainty that you carry behind your smile. But I am here to tell you that I am not threatened by your doubts, nor am I surprised by the moments you question if I am truly listening. I delight in you, not the future version of you that is perfect and polished, but the you that is here right now, weary and wondering. When you release that frantic urgency and place it at my feet, you finally make space for the peace I have been longing to plant in your spirit. So notice right now how your shoulders drop when you remember that I am handling what you cannot. And in this pause, whether you're sitting by a sunny window or resting in the quiet of the night, let gratitude be the gentle refrain that draws you back to me. You look around at the needs of the world, the people you love who are struggling, and the dreams that feel so fragile in your hands, and you wonder if your small efforts actually matter, if your voice will ever shape true change. But hear me clearly, I have never measured your worth by visible results or public applause. I am watching the acts of kindness you give when no one is watching, the way you swallow your anger to keep the peace, the way you pray quietly for friends and family, even when you are hurting. In that rhythm of unseen faithfulness, you are my beloved. I see your willingness to wait, to forgive the unforgivable, and to hope when the statistics say hope is unreasonable. These small choices are not wasted, and in time, you will not just see their fruit, you will taste it. Allow faithfulness to become as natural as your breath. Not forced, not frantic, not a performance, but held in the quiet trust that I am growing something beautiful within you, even when the surface looks dormant. When anxiety presses tightly against your chest, convincing you that disaster is waiting around the corner, or that the bills won't get paid, I invite you to a different reality. My invitation is not just for you to think positively or quiet your fears by your own sheer strength, but to open yourself to my sustaining presence. Picture my hand on your shoulder right now, steadying you when uncertainty blurs your vision. I am your safe place. With each anxious thought that knocks on the door of your mind, come back to my nearness, practicing receiving my peace one short moment at a time. Think of the warmth of a morning cup of coffee settled in your palms, the laughter of a loved one filling the room, or the quiet hush before you drift to sleep. These are not just coincidences, they are reminders that I am nearer than your next breath. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. It is natural to worry about the pace of your progress, to scroll through the lives of others and compare your journey, wondering if you are falling behind. But I see your striving, and I see the places where you overextend yourself to keep up with expectations that I never placed on you. There is no rush in my kingdom. There are no awards for those who exhaust themselves and burn out. When you slow your steps and look for signs of my present, sunlight glinting off cool water, a friend's reassuring text, a sense of calm after a storm, you will remember that my timing is always perfect. Before you move on from this moment, consider this simple next invitation. If these words eased your spirit, share this message with one person who needs to hear it today. Even a single share can be the breath someone else needs. I have not forgotten you, nor have I overlooked the deep desires of your heart. Everything ripens at just the right moment, and you will taste the goodness I have prepared for you. Sometimes you wonder what difference surrender can truly make, especially when your bank account looks the same and the problems remain. The world tells you that strength is found in controlling outcomes and mastering every detail. But I say, true power is in leaning close to my heart and trusting that I carry your story with purpose. Surrender allows you to hear my quiet guidance, nudging you here, asking you to release that, until you are moving in step with me rather than pushing one step ahead in panic. When you feel resistance, listen to it, for perhaps I am redirecting you for your own protection. Where you feel drawn into stillness, honor that sacred pause, for I am speaking, and my words restore your soul. Pause and pray. Take a deep breath now and say, Lord, I trust you. Let that be your first act of surrender. I know the weight you carry for your family, for your children, for your aging parents, for those entrusted to your care. You long to shield them from pain, to secure for them a future that is bright and untroubled. Beloved, I do not ask you to bear that responsibility alone. Come to me and confess your fears for those you love, for I am already at work in their hearts and futures in ways far beyond what you can see or imagine. Entrust them to me, for the steady, watchful protection you hunger to provide is something I offer freely. Let my faithfulness toward them become your anchor. Even as your own prayers continue, I treasure every word you speak on their behalf. You may struggle to recognize your place in the world, to understand your calling when your days feel repetitive or your contributions seem humble, but look closer, for your worth is not diminished in the quiet seasons. Write it down, grab a scrap of paper and write one worry you're handing over. Place it somewhere symbolic to remind you gave it away. While the world applauds the loud and the large, I shape greatness in the hidden places. Your faithfulness in daily tasks, your willingness to get up and try again after disappointment, these are the moments that reveal who you are in my eyes. See each day as another invitation to commune with me, to become confident in your true identity as chosen, cherished, and held secure. Perhaps you doubt that you can truly change, fearful that patterns set long ago might never bend toward newness. Hear this. I am the one who brings fresh beginnings, who breathes life into old habits and tired dreams. My power is not limited by your history or by the failures that haunt you. Whenever you turn to me, even in a whispered plea at 3 a.m., you open the way for transformation. Celebrate each small shift, each new desire for goodness, each quiet urge to forgive, for I rejoice as you grow, and I strengthen your resolve to keep moving forward. Speak thanks aloud. Name one small shift you see and say thank you out loud right now. Voice anchors receiving. Even now I am making all things new. Let my nearness be your living hope. When morning brings uncertainty or night falls with lingering questions, return to me with childlike trust. Nothing about your story is wasted. Every pain surrendered, every joy celebrated, draws you deeper into my love. Rest now, knowing I am working in ways you cannot yet see. My hand steadies your journey, and my affection for you does not waver. In every place you feel unknown or unfinished, I am writing a chapter marked by grace. Press on, beloved, for you do not walk this path alone. Let your heart wake each morning to meet me in the possibility of the coming day. Where you find uncertainty, I establish my peace like morning dew that lingers softly upon the earth before the warmth stirs the air. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. There is no hour in your routine where I do not walk beside you while you stretch in daylight's first yawn or while the hush of evening settles. I am not distant but present in every sacred pause between your deepest breaths. Who comes to mind? If a person came to your heart as I spoke, send them a message or reach out today. Your touch may carry healing. When you allow the stillness to remind you that I am near and attentive, closer than the stirring of hope within, you will find comfort. With every inhale, remember, I am the one comforting you in silent spaces, wrapping you in gentle assurance even before you speak a need aloud. When questions come and you look for certainty, you need only let your spirit lean into the assurance that you are not alone, not left to guess what comes next. Sometimes doors seem sealed, and your own effort appears small compared to the mountain ahead. You may wonder if I notice the longings that press upon your soul as the hours pass and results seem hidden, but even then, I am at work in ways you have yet to see, preparing strength for you where obstacles grow. The quiet persistence that brings you back to gratitude, the steady pulse of a thankfulness you nurture even when nothing looks changed, those are the moments that move mountains within. My favor is not always a sudden wind, but often a gentle hand guiding the next step when you're unsure where solid ground lies. As you linger in the hush, waiting for a sign, I am already clearing the way, though to you it may seem slow. You may awaken to the persistent ache of worries about your family, about the future, or whether you are measuring up, but I remind you, nothing in your daily struggles escapes my notice. I know the weight you carry for those you love, the private prayers whispered at the bedside, or as you stand in a quiet room gazing into the unknown. Release them to me, not because you give up, but because you trust my love runs deeper for them, even than yours. Each concern you surrender is gathered safely. Each tear glimmering in secret is a silent invitation for me to comfort and intervene in ways you may not expect. Rest in this truth. Every time you entrust a heart to my care, you partner with me. The world's noise hurries you to solve, perform, and prove, but I call you to settle into my rhythm, where striving is replaced by resting in my intentions and learning to listen beneath every shout of fear. Pause when doubts shout loudest, and let my presence become the quiet room where courage breathes, and you remember your worth cannot be diminished by what you have or have not accomplished. My voice calls forth value within you independent of circumstance. No obstacle, no waiting season, or closed opportunity can void what I have promised over your life. Let your trust become active, not passive like a seed watered daily by believing that I am still guiding, still shaping, still completing what was begun in you. Even when anticipation aches, each act of surrender transforms you, making room for new perspective and opening your heart to solutions beyond your sight. You will find that when you unclench anxious hands and ask for my wisdom, fresh ideas and unexpected opportunities quietly emerge, not forced but given, flowing from the place of trust where you have permitted me to lead. There will always be moments when you feel as though you are waiting for clarity, for breakthrough, or for assurance that your path is firm. But these delays are not empty. In every pause, I grow your resilience, refining your faith until it is a resting anchor. Even when storms linger overhead, you are being steadied so that when circumstances change, you will not be shaken. I am constructing within you a capacity to recognize my whisper, even against the world's clamor. Each waiting day is an invitation to practice faith, not by striving, but by sinking deeper into my enduring love. Let the ordinary day, the rhythm of meals, the warm laughter, the soft glow of a late lamp, remind you that my goodness is threaded amidst every moment. Find me in the smallest kindness exchanged, the breath of quiet wonder that rises when you glimpse beauty, and the courage it takes to speak gratitude even in disappointment. Every act of gentleness you offer becomes a testimony to the transformation I am working in you. You are being made radiant not by grand achievements, but by the slow accumulation of surrendered trust and persistent hope. Where you choose to see goodness, you become a living sign that my presence endures in your story. When you encounter the temptation to despair, or to believe you must control every outcome, return to the posture of open hands, literally, if you must. Sit still, palms resting upward, and allow yourself to feel the tension melt from your body as you confess your need. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. My response does not delay. I am already renewing strength, infusing your thoughts with peace that plants courage afresh each time you call. Where you stumble, I provide steadiness. Where fear urges retreat, I invite you to stand and watch me turn what threatened to overwhelm into testimony. I never ask you to bear what is beyond your capacity alone. In the hours when you reflect and you see your imperfections, know that I have never wavered in my delight over you. My gaze is not fixed on flaws or measuring you against others. It rests upon your willingness to return to me again and again, trusting that my love runs deeper than your own ability to remain faithful. The real victory is not perfection, but yielding to me in each small moment, allowing yourself to be shaped by my hands, healed in places that yesterday felt too raw to name. My forgiveness is never rationed. It is a continual flow for you throughout your day as sunlight moves across the floor and shadows stretch and shrink with time. Let those shifting patterns remind you that seasons change, but my nearness is unwavering. I do not fade with the dusk or rise only with dawn. I remain beside you at every turn. When you find yourself longing for final answers or immediate glimpses of what is ahead, trust that I am preparing more than you ask. The timing of my work is an act of love measured, intentional, and always meant to align you with greater purpose. Entrust your process to me, for my plans hold more hope than anything you could orchestrate alone. Do not believe for a moment that your scars disqualify you from my purpose, my beloved. The very places you have tried to hide, the history you have wanted to rewrite, I am bringing into the light to reveal beauty only I can create from brokenness. I have been with you in every silent ache, in every prayer whispered with trembling lips as you begged for change. The pain you thought was final, the limitation you feared would forever define you, are now the starting point from which I release new authority. This is an authority born from endurance, compassion, and faith battled for in the darkness. Feel my gaze upon you now, it is not disappointed. I look on you with delight, searching your story for treasures others have overlooked. You are stronger than the voices that tried to diminish you. There is a boldness awakening that even you did not suspect was inside. All along I have been reshaping your inner world so that when you step out, you do so as someone who knows what it means to be held, secure, immune to the flattery or criticism of others, rooted in identity that cannot be stolen by circumstances. Breathe deeply right now, my chosen child, and let your chest rise and fall with the assurance that I am still writing your next chapter, no matter what the world insists is finished. The doubts that haunted you in the quiet hours are becoming stepping stones. You no longer live from emptiness, you live from the overflow I am pouring day by day. Many have walked this path before you and felt alone, yet I assure you, there is an entire company of the faithful past and present who know the sound of my voice calling them out of hiding and into purpose. You notice the atmosphere beginning to change, don't you? It may be subtle at first, a shift in how you carry yourself or a sudden urge to bless rather than withdraw. I am the wind on your face and the fire in your spirit, urging you quietly but relentlessly to take the next step. My presence is not an event, but your normal environment. Every time old fears resurface, pause and remember, you are never alone in the battle. My nearness is not a reward for perfect faith, but a promise to the desperate, the hungry, the daring. You are marked for transformation that multiplies outward, touching others in ways you cannot yet imagine. I know you sometimes doubt whether your growth is real or lasting, and the enemy circles, echoing lies that you are unchanged, unworthy, unfinished. Let my truth thunder into every accusation. You are the very evidence of my restoration. You are a life rising from the ashes with new power to speak hope where others see only ruins. Place your hand on your heart now and feel the rhythm that I keep beating. Even when your mind races and your courage wavers, that pulse is proof that I have not given up on you, and neither should you. Patterns that once defined you are losing their grip. New habits, new language, new confidence, these are not illusions, but seeds already cracking open beneath the soil. Water them with expectation, and do not mistake the slowness of change for absence of movement. I am the gardener who waits patiently for the blossom, tending the soil of your soul with gentleness no human words can capture. Even on the days you felt numb, I was there, removing every root of shame and bitterness. The roots run deeper than you know, but so does my healing. You wonder why some prayers felt unanswered, but listen closely. My silence never means abandonment. My timing is artistry, shaping you so that what I pour will not be wasted. You have not missed your moment. You have not fallen too far. Everything meant to destroy you will strengthen your testimony as you walk into new assignments, empowered by scars turned radiant. There is someone who will cross your path in the coming days, bearing the same ache you have known, and you'll recognize it, the hesitation in their voice, the shadow behind their eyes. Do not hesitate. Let your words carry the weight of a survivor, a child beloved and restored. The comfort you have received from me is the comfort I want you to extend. The very thing you wanted to hide is about to become your key to unlock another's prison. Trust the promptings I give, for they are not your imagination, but my spirit commissioning you as a carrier of hope. When you see this, you will know it was I who prepared both the encounter and your readiness. Pause for a moment and notice the way your spirit feels lighter, as if something is being lifted, and it is. I am removing burdens you learned to live with, the subtle weights of guilt and comparison that erode joy. Going forward, you will find yourself laughing where sorrow once held sway, reaching out when you would have curled up, speaking life where you used to swallow pain. This is my promise, transformation that sticks, not an emotional spike, but a steady burning flame. The work I begin, I finish. Yes, there is risk in this vulnerability, and yes, your heart recoils at the thought of being seen as you are, scars and all, but I am the wind on your face and the fire in your spirit, urging you quietly but relentlessly to take the next step. My presence is not an event, but your normal environment. It is not only the world that shifts when you stand in your true identity, it is your family, your friendships, your very sense of purpose. Old cycles are shattering, and new possibilities dawn with every act of obedience, no matter how small it seems. A single step out of fear is celebrated in heaven. The sound of your surrender echoes through eternity, stirring hope in generations you have not yet met. Ready to take one step? Decide one small obedience for today and do it before the hour ends. Momentum begins with one choice. You are a catalyst, not a spectator. What I am doing in you is meant to ripple beyond you, transforming atmospheres, altering legacy, setting captives free. There is still so much to unveil, so much yet hidden that will soon spring forth. Be attentive to the dream stirring again as you lay down to rest, for I am releasing strategies and blueprints while you sleep. Tomorrow, you may wake with an idea, a piece, or an invitation you could not have manufactured, and you will know it is from me because it quickens your spirit, awakens anticipation, and pushes you lovingly beyond the familiar. Every day from now on is charged with holy possibility. The journey is nowhere near over, and your greatest impact is rising now. When doubts try to crowd in, remember who shelters you. My affection was settled over you before you ever took your first breath, and I have watched over your days with a faithfulness that surpasses every shadow. Even when fear claws at the edge of your confidence, you are not alone, and you are not defenseless. My hands, steady and sure, hold you when you feel most unsteady. Let yourself notice the quiet evidence, how your heart still beats strong, how you keep rising with each dawn, how doors gently open that worry said were bolted shut. My goodness is not a rumor, but your daily reality if you will truly look. Pay attention to those moments when anxiety softens and hope surprises you. Every flash of unexpected peace, every breath that feels a little easier, each small spark of gratitude, these are tokens of my active nearness. I give them freely, so you'll know I am not distant or waiting for your perfection. When your mind starts to spiral with what-ifs and regrets, hush those voices with a slow inhalation and a whispered thanks for now. This right here is your sanctuary because my presence is not confined by circumstance. Pause again in this quiet moment. Let the warmth around you become tangible. Rest your hand over your heart and realize I am the one who grants it rest. You need not strive for belonging or prove your worth to me. You already delight my heart. There is no hiding from me, nor is there judgment waiting in my gaze, only the glow of pure delight in seeing you exactly as you are. Let yourself receive this affection, even if uncertainty tries to barter for your attention. If you fear starting something new, conversations, work, daring to hope, remember, I go forward with you. You walk not into the unknown, but into a day already saturated by my intention. Feel the lightness in surrendering outcomes, for the heaviness you carried was never yours to bear. I invite you each morning to trade those weights for trust. What possibilities might you notice if your hands were finally free to reach for what stirs inside your heart? Let your imagination stretch wider than failure and wider than others' opinions. My affirmation isn't conditional upon their acceptance or your flawless performance. It's rooted simply in our relationship. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. When you doubt if change is possible, recall how even the hardest winter yields to new shoots in spring. I do not force transformation, but I plant gentle opportunities all around you, soft invitations to grow even when nothing outward seems to shift. What you dare hope for is not impossible to me. Restoration of family, friends, colleagues. Sometimes their words land sharp or silence feels heavy, but I stand with you in the unseen places, mending what the world cannot name. I am not discouraged by your wounds, nor surprised when you stumble. Every time you come to me, honesty opens the door for renewal. You do not need to edit your pain, nor make yourself presentable before seeking my comfort. I see every unspoken ache, and I answer, you are mine, and nothing can divide us. Strength is not always noisy or spectacular. Sometimes it's the courage to bring me your confusion, to allow yourself a night of tearful release so that morning light finds you softer instead of harder. Each act of releasing shame or bitterness is a renewal I celebrate with you. Let there be no rush. I am patient and I honor every tiny movement toward trust. When you sense my nudge to let go or forgive or rest, it is because I long for you to walk unhindered, not because I am impatient with your journey. Continue to notice my fingerprints on your day, the gentle prompting to speak kindness, the urge to pause and give thanks, the subtle moments when you sense me quieting your fears. My spirit is not far off or silent. Each encouragement, each burst of inspiration, every fresh solution or idea that feels like hope flickering, these are gifts meant just for you. My voice blends with your thoughts, coaching you toward choices that align with your deepest peace. That inner whisper is never condemnation, only an invitation to draw close again. The future need not be a threat. Even as you look ahead and wonder about provision, relationships, direction, know that my plans hold you securely. When what you hope for changes shape or seems delayed, it is not because I have overlooked you. Patience, at its essence, is an act of trust in my character. You are not waiting in vain. Every moment of anticipation is held in my wisdom as I fit all things into their beautiful season. Let this reality lighten your breath and steady your step, for I am faithful beyond your timelines. Keep your expectations open, for I delight in surprising you with joy appearing in unlikely places, a phone call at the needed moment, a sudden insight that clarifies what was muddled, a wave of calm in the ordinary day. Receive these with a thankful heart, knowing these are signs that my attention is fixed on you. When disappointment lingers, invite me into that ache. I do not waste your tears, they water the soil of tomorrow's relief. Do not draw back when you feel vulnerable. This is when my nearness is simplest to receive. What I bless in you, no one can revoke. My presence is not a reward for effort, but a birthright of belonging. Every time you dare to believe this, it changes how you carry yourself. Posture your heart not defensively but with quiet expectation, and watch how confidence builds as you simply show up, trusting I am already at work in every conversation, every hidden motive, every step outside your comfort zone. Nothing about you is overlooked. I take joy in seeing you brave the unknown because you trust me enough to try. Resist the urge to rush to the conclusion of your own story before you've truly lived this page. Hidden treasures are found in present moments, in laughter breaking through after sorrow, in peace after anxious nights. Stay alert for these gifts, not just as encouragements, but as proof that tomorrow is not intimidating when you remember who goes with you. Let yourself linger here, gathering up the lessons, the comforts, the gentle nudges. I am for you, and my guidance does not expire at sunset. You have come further than you think, beloved one. Every shadow you endured, every secret ache you brought before me, none of it has been wasted. My eyes have traced each step as you navigated the winding corridors of your own heart, searching for light, hungering for assurance when hope seemed thin. I have watched as you pressed on, refusing to let go, even when your prayers felt unanswered and silence wrapped around you. Yet here you are, standing on ground you once only dreamed of reaching, and I am still the one holding you now. This is not the end of your journey, but the threshold of something new, a blossoming that has required every moment, every trial, every secret yearning that shaped you. There is still more to unveil, more to awaken within you. You wonder if you are truly changed, if the old patterns in your mind and the wounds in your story have really started to transform. Let me tell you the truth that reaches beyond your doubts. I have already begun the work of resurrection. Even now, roots of courage are growing beneath the surface, unseen but unstoppable. Those places where you once felt fractured are being sutured by my own hand, and strength is rising where you feared only brokenness would remain. Today, you will notice a kindness you did not expect toward yourself, toward those you find hardest to love. That shift is my spirit moving inside you, reshaping what you believe is possible, giving you the power to forgive and release, to let go of what cannot follow you forward. I remind you that every promise I have spoken remains alive, pulsing with my breath. The words whispered to your soul in quiet moments have not vanished, even if circumstances seem unchanged. My timing invites you to let go of striving and enter the steady current of my faithfulness. Can you feel the peace unfolding in your chest as you trust me right now? That peace is your compass, signaling that you are walking in step with me, leaving behind anxiety as your guide. Breathe deep, beloved child. It is safe for you to expect good things, to open yourself fully, to allow hope new roots. A new boldness is rising in you, one that no longer bows to fear or shame. The enemy tried to convince you that your voice was small, your prayers insignificant, your dreams too risky. But listen closely. I set you apart, not so you would shrink back, but so you would carry my compassion and truth into a world desperate for light. I am commissioning you in this moment. Every wound transformed into wisdom, every tear gathered in my hand, every hidden longing for more, they are now the fuel for your purpose. You are not who you were. You are chosen, anointed, sent. Watch as your story becomes a beacon for others, standing on their own edges of hope and despair. You might feel the press of responsibility, the trembling awareness that something inside you is about to be required, but do not let this weight become a fear, because I never send you alone. My presence is your shield. My voice will guide your steps. Remember how far you have come, not by your own strength, but because I have carried you in tenderness and conviction. When uncertainty threatens, close your eyes and remember the warmth that settled over your heart when you heard me say, "You are mine." That truth will anchor you no matter the storm. Realize, dear one, that your journey is not isolated. There are others across the earth who have felt the same ache, whispered the same prayers, longed for the same encounter. You are part of a company of seekers, those awakened to my love, rising from ashes with fire in their eyes. Your obedience, even when you doubted your impact, has already become ripple and light in distant places. Soon someone will approach you with a need you recognize, a pain you have survived, and you will know it is my arrangement, because compassion will well up and words you didn't know you carried will flow forth with healing. Do not retreat when you feel the old doubts flicker, for transformation is not a single moment but a continual awakening. Allow my voice to shape your internal dialogue. When you hear the lie that says you are too broken, too late, or too little, counter it with my truth. I am the beloved, sent and sustained by a faithful God. Say it with me now aloud if you are able. I am chosen. I am whole. I am never abandoned. Feel the shift in the air as you declare it. That is my spirit confirming your identity, shattering the last strongholds of shame. As you step into unfamiliar places, pay attention to your senses. Notice the clarity in your thoughts, the unexplainable warmth that rushes in during stillness, the way anxiety falls away when you remember my promises. These are not random. They are markers of my presence, invitations to pause and realize that I surround you more closely than your own breath. I will meet you in simple tasks today, the quiet morning, the ordinary conversation, the moment your heart races with anticipation. Look for me there, and you will recognize me because peace will overtake what fear left unresolved. Let gratitude be the melody that carries you into this new season. Each time you sense doubt rising, anchor yourself by giving thanks for evidence of my goodness, no matter how small. Speak aloud the kindness someone showed you, the restoration you see in a relationship, the hope that keeps flickering even on weary days. Watch as gratitude shifts heaviness into possibility, tuning your heart to my frequency. The more you practice, the more you will realize that I am closer than your skin, that nothing can separate you from my fierce love. Restoration is not always spectacular. Sometimes it emerges quietly day by day. Trust that what I am building within you will far surpass what you lost. Where you saw only fragments, I am assembling something unbreakable. Your calling will extend far beyond your imagination. I am not finished revealing the depths of your destiny. This chapter is not a conclusion. It is a launching, a commissioning, a call to rise and reflect the radiance of one who has rescued you from despair and clothed you in hope. If this moved you, share it with one person who needs to hear it. Your share could be the moment their heart turns. If this message stirred something deep within your spirit, stay connected to these daily reminders of my faithfulness. Press that button now, not just for content, but for communion. I will meet you here tomorrow, speaking life again into the places that need it most. Amen.